Well, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's session. I think we're going to get started now. So my name is Daniela and I'm part of the team here at Oxford College of Marketing. I'm part of the inquiries team. So when people come through with any questions regarding any of the qualifications, we're usually the people to help you. I'd just like to note that this webinar is currently being recorded, and we can send this to you afterwards as well. So today we've got the Martech Club, which is hosted by Robin. And the session is on unlocking the power of MidJourney, a deep dive for marketers. Robin, in case you guys weren't aware, which I'm sure that you are by now, is a self-proclaimed nerd who was put on this earth to help organizations and individuals understand marketing, data, and demystify MarTech, and make complicated things more accessible for everyone. So she's really qualified to lead all of these talks. But yeah, we'll have the presentation from Robin first, and then we can go through some questions throughout, as well as the end. So Robin, I'll pass it on to you.
Okay, what an introduction. I always feel like I've got like this responsibility to really bring it after you do that. So thank you. This session is all about one platform. And the reason is that generative AI is truly taking over a lot of the content that we see. So within the MarTech stack that we use, within the AI tools that we use, we should definitely be looking at which platform does what and why and how we can use that ethically, trustworthily, if that's even a word, and purposefully within our marketing kind of campaigns, creation, strategy, all that kind of good stuff. So what I first want to actually go through is, why did we start doing these webinars? And technology within marketing is forever advancing, yeah? And understanding that technology and how to use AI, MarTech, all of that good stuff, we are actually able to be empowered as marketers to thrive in our industry that is changing faster than ever, right? There's more expectation, there's more content we have to create, there's more needs that the communities, clients, and individuals that we connect with expect from our marketing and need to see before they actually make a purchase from us, in essence. And as technology reshapes that way that we reach and engage with audiences, how we stay informed, and we can't not be on that bandwagon anymore. And this kind of process as MarTech Club, we created so that we can come together and work through that changes in technology and create a space where we can just ask all of the questions, understand what's on the horizon, and realistically just get more out of the technology that surrounds our sector, so we get more from our marketing overall. So that is why, and it is every 2 weeks, apart from maybe falls a little bit different around Christmas and things like that. And of course, we have our wonderful Slack channel, which some of the conversations in there I really enjoy. So I invite you to join us where we talk about these things, share knowledge and share platforms, tech and processes outside of these kind of sessions. And all of my notes and the slides also get put in there. So if you want kind of a copy of that, you can just pop in and take what you need. So today, we are focusing all on the power of MidJourney and how we unlock and understand its full potential for use within marketing. Yeah, so MidJourney can be used within many different kind of areas of the business, or for artists or kind of photographers, but we're looking at it from the marketing point of view, yeah? So we're going to look at MidJourney and see what it is all about, learn the best practices for creating usable marketing content with an emphasis on that use. And then we're going to look at the licensing and the legal considerations with the content that we create with this generative AI platform, because some of it may surprise you, actually. And during it all, I will go through where appropriate, I will open up MidJourney and we will work through those prompts together and learn what the platform looks like and how we interact with it. As with all of my sessions, please add in questions into the chat so we can get those answered for you as we go. Any question is a good question. And if you need me to slow down, explain things in more detail, please just let me know, and I will do that as we go forward. Okay. So what is MidJourney? Has anyone used MidJourney? You can let me know in the chat as I talk through what it is and how it works. So MidJourney is a AI-powered image generation tool, and it uses deep learning algorithms to create detailed and highly stylized visuals based on our user-provided text prompts. Yeah. It's built on advancements in generative AI, in particular diffusion models, and it interprets descriptive language to produce images that align with the specified themes, styles, and concepts that we have provided it, that we are showcasing to it. Yeah. We as users interact with MidJourney via a user-friendly interface, typically through Discord. And I'll explain all of that process throughout our session today, where we then input prompts, refine our outputs, and explore its customization options. The system itself leverages massive data sets. If you've been to any of my sessions on AI, you know that data and information is the lifeblood of AI, because that is the way it can understand your input and provide you with an output. The data it is trained upon and has access to is the only way it can interpret the world. Yeah. MidJourney itself stands out for its focus on artistic quality. Each AI platform, each generative AI platform, text to image platform, any kind of platform that uses AI is good for a certain thing. Yeah. And I always say that you need to match the AI tool that you're using to the purpose that you actually want to use the output for. And like I said, MidJourney stands out for its focus on artistic quality, enabling users to experiment with unique visual effects and sophisticated and actually usable choices and outcomes. Yeah. So what I want to do just for a second is talk about what is generative AI. Within actually the CIM specialist course that I run, I talk about the foundational tech that empowers the tools that we interact with. Because when you start to understand that foundational technology, you actually understand better which tool is going to give you the better outcome within your marketing strategy, your campaigns, and your choice overall. And generative AI is a type of artificial intelligence that creates new content. Yeah. Based on patterns and information it has learned from existing data. It's focused on producing things that it can see you are asking for, whereas some types of AI kind of platforms, they just regurgitate data. So if you say, I want a pink rabbit, it won't go and fetch that image. It will create that image for you from the information it knows what pink is and what a rabbit looks like. Yeah, so there's a slight difference. And the way it works is that it has a training phase. So this is when it has started to being created. And this is where the AI model is fed a large data set, all of that information. Yeah, images, text, audio files, all that kind of stuff. We then have the generation phase. So once it is trained, it can use that knowledge to create new content that aligns with the given input or prompt that we write into the system. So for example, you can describe an image or you can type a phrase, and then this system will produce a matching visual to that. Yeah. And then examples are like GPT, DALL-E, some music generation models that create kind of different music and things like that. Generative AI is widely used for tasks like content creation, design, prototyping, personalization, and it has applications in marketing astoundingly. It has infiltrated a lot of kind of content creation systems. And that is because it is much quicker. It has a much better return on investment in some instances than sending out a photographer. But again, it's about making sure that the content we create is purposeful for the reasons that we use it. Yeah. Okay. So that's the kind of technology that underpins this wonderful, wonderful platform. So if we look at this platform and the process that we have to go through from starting with an idea all the way to that creation point, there are 5 key steps that happen. Yeah. So we know that MidJourney creates content by using artificial intelligence to generate images based on textual prompts. It's part of a model system called text to image, yeah, because it creates us an image as an output. And the first thing that happens is we give it a text prompt input. So we as users provide a descriptive prompt detailing the level of detail we need to have here is incredibly high, which I will show you later. You can't just ask it for a rabbit. Yeah, you've got to ask for many other things to get a usable piece of content out of the other end. The more specific the prompt, the more accurately MidJourney can create an image that truly matches your vision. Because the only way it understands what you want is through that prompt that we type in. Yeah. Prompts can include things like stylistic details, specific objects, moods, colors, and artistic influences, which I will show you when we go through the platform. So that's where we start. Yeah. We ask it what we want in detail. The next is that it then goes through a process of natural language processing. So the AI model first processes the prompt with NLP to understand the words, the context, and the meaning. Yeah. It breaks down the input when what we ask it within that text to understand what objects, styles, or concepts are truly being requested, mapping them to various visual elements. Yeah. And then MidJourney uses diffusion models, which is a deep learning architecture to generate the images. Now, when I try and explain a diffusion model, they start with what is classed as random noise and iteratively denoise it, gradually refining it to match the visual characteristics of the output described in the prompt. So it's almost like it starts with like a galaxy, yeah? And then if we go further and further in, as it iteratively gets better at creating your output from your prompt, we then get more detail. So imagine this like galaxy kind of image here, and then we zone in a little and we start to see star constellations. And then we go in a little bit and we can see a planet. And then we go in a little bit and we can see the details on the edge of that planet. And that is what you've asked for. But it's had to go through all of these kind of stages to get to that image. Yeah. So it denoises it. It takes away the riffraff, the stuff it doesn't need, to single down into actually what you have asked for. And honestly, that's the easiest way I can describe a diffusion model. Yeah. So we start at the galaxy level, but we actually want the kind of detailed planet picture, but it has to start here. That's where it starts. Yeah. So that's what happens. That's how it starts to create that image for us. And then MidJourney also includes a variety of stylistic filters and options, which allows us to refine that output. Yeah. So I will show you how to do that in a second. And then the last one is the user feedback loop. So we can refine outputs and request multiple versions. And this interaction allows us as users to hone in on specific details and achieve more accurate results from our text input to the output. And MidJourney's ability to generate high quality, stylized content quickly and effectively is a result of advanced AI training, really good algorithms, and the huge visual data that helps it capture and recreate diverse artistic elements. And because it is so accessible, it is so easy for us to go in and do this. Once you have followed what I'm going to talk about in the rest of the webinar and how to talk to it and how to prompt, you will see very quickly why it is becoming an integral piece of kit for marketers to create highly stylistic imagery and imagery very quickly to represent certain aspects of things without that huge outlay of like a photography team, a big creative team. I always say that AI will not be a replacement for everything, and that is true. And you will see why in a few seconds. But we need to be able to understand this technology and add it to our toolkit and use it where necessary to save time, energy, and resources. Yeah. So the first thing that we also need to think about, though, before we even go into this platform, and I open up and show you kind of what MidJourney is, how to use it, and how to prompt it, is the fact that MidJourney sits within Discord. So it doesn't exist as in like a loggable in platform. Yeah, it sits within Discord. And the reason this is, and I will show you, is that it enhances the community engagement of MidJourney. So this generative AI kind of platform has really successfully segmented itself into the users. So if you actually use Discord, you can actually ask direct questions in various channels to get help, get feedback, and collaborate, which aligns well with the creative kind of nature of MidJourney's kind of platform. The bot integration into Discord is simple and effective. So we as users can interact with this platform in a very easy way. The UI is very easy to connect with. Discord scalability and flexible server infrastructure makes it also easier for MidJourney to manage growth and organize community interactions. So it's a one-stop shop for them. That's why they've put it into Discord overall. And a lot of people have used Slack, have used Discord, so it's familiar. So it's ideal for us as users to interact with this platform. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to open up MidJourney for us. So has anybody got any questions up to now? No? I have 1,000 screens and I have to move everything around to get back to where we are. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share Discord for us, yeah? And I'm going to take you around. I'm going to show you around. So does everyone see my Discord channel? Yeah? Yeah, perfect. So when you sign up to MidJourney, you get access to their full community, and that is this here. So as you can see, there are thousands of different kind of ways that you can get really great support. You can ask questions directly in here. They give you announcements when things change. So this is where they tell you everything that's coming up, all that kind of stuff. It can seem a little overwhelming at first until you truly get into the kind of process. Yeah. So this is the community that you automatically get access to. Now, the platform itself, the integration, actually lives within the direct messaging. So you get a direct message. There is a free plan of MidJourney, but you can't use it for commercial use. So you would have to have a paid for subscription to use it within marketing, but you can try it for free, for example. So this is what it looks like. You can see I often create myself as a data goblin. You can see here. Yeah. And it honestly works incredibly simply. So once you kind of have joined the community and you've connected your bot, your direct message bot, and it guides you on how to do this all the way through, you simply then come to this button and we ask it the various questions that we need. So what shall we ask it? What do we want to talk to it about? What do we want to create? Very, very simple. I don't need a big thing, but let's maybe select. Okay, so we press imagine because we are asking it to imagine for us a new image. And let's put something simple as a superhero of marketing. Yeah, very, very basic prompt. That is not the kind of prompt I want you to actually use, but just for now, as we get used to the platform, I will show you. And what that then does is it starts the diffusion model. It takes NLP to understand that I have asked for a superhero of marketing. Yeah. And now, as you can see, as the percentage moves up and moves forward, it is going through the diffusion model where it is denoising what I have asked it for until it creates us an image. So let's wait for it to finish. Sometimes it depends on how many people are in the server. Okay, sadly they're all male. That's a kind of thing you need to recognize, that this data that it is fed is heritage data. So we need to be mindful that there could be biases, there could be stereotypes within that kind of process. So what that does is it kicks us out 4 versions. It's really gone down that kind of superhero vibe, hasn't it? It hasn't really thought about the marketing side. And that is my fault. I gave it a pretty rubbish prompt, so it was only able to give me a pretty rubbish outcome. So what we can do now is we can try again. Yeah. So we can ask it to rerun that whole thing again.
Robin, sorry to interrupt you. Monica popped a question in the chat and it says, I heard MidJourney can be accessed through a web interface. Is this not correct?
Not if you want to access all of the kind of things it can do and have access to the community. And the web-based platform is purely a way for you to store your licenses for your commercial kind of images. So I will show you that before the end. Okay, so still not great, but we'll go with it for now. So what we can then do is we choose if we like one. So do we like any? Let's have a quick look again. Okay, they're all okay. So maybe we like this version. Yeah. So what we can do is we can upscale this version. So then that produces an image with the right quality that we can use it for anything that we would like. Yeah. So we can upscale number 2. If we particularly like a style that has been brought out by one of these, we can ask for variations of that version of that output. So let's ask for variations for 2. So as you can see, we have our very wonderful marketing superhero, very traditionally, very stereotypically a superhero. Yeah. And what it's also doing here is it's variating the image for me. Yeah. So we're going to get 4 versions of this style to also choose from. So let's wait for that to kick through. So what it does is it goes along the same kind of theme and gives you options within that. And then you can choose one to upscale. Now, when you've upscaled an image itself, so we have this beautiful one here, what we can do is we can ask it to iterate. Yeah. So the first things I want you to kind of look at is you can go left or right, up or down. So let me show you what these kind of do. So it actually moves the image, the focal point of the image for you. We can also zoom out or zoom in for example. So I'm going to run a zoom out twice, for example. What I can also ask it to do is vary. So if I want to vary a specific area of the image, so maybe I don't like the fact it has very obviously the superhero emblem here. And then I ask it. Yeah, again, a very bad prompt, but I'm doing it very quickly. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah. So what it's going to do is it's going to vary that area for me as well. So this is where we panned left. So you can see that it gave us more on the kind of left side. So it's a great way to fill in the background if you're using it for a certain campaign. A poster, you need more space to put text or a call to action or something. You can just get it to do that for you. So if we compare it to the original kind of image, we then panned left, yeah. So it's quite good. And then this is where we zoomed out. So again, it's giving us more option within that kind of iteration or change that we have asked it to do. And then this is where we asked it to change the S, but all it's done is change the color. So that wasn't particularly successful. So as you can see, you can do a lot without really having to understand how to talk to MidJourney or how to create a wonderful kind of prompt. Yeah, you can create an image very quickly, kind of giving you the output that you need incredibly fast. What did that take? Like 3 minutes, where we went from prompt to kind of the process that we were looking for overall. So we went from prompt, asking it. So let's do let's do something interesting, like a Coca-Cola style poster, but for a new car, which is kind of something you may ask it, right? Again, a very, very basic prompt, but it's just to show that very quickly we can go from an idea to an image and then iterate that image to get something that is more in line than what we had envisioned. Come on, you can go quicker than that. While that's just doing, I'll also let you know that you can blend. So if you have an image of yourself and you want to blend yourself with a gremlin, like I'll show you a picture of myself, like blended with a gremlin. Or you want to create kind of imagery for a specific brand. So this is a whiskey kind of brand. This is the glass that they use. So it's being able to put the image in and then ask it to bring that image into a mystical, magical kind of world. You can see some other iterations there. So as you can see, you can get from an idea to actually creating something, you can actually get something very, very quickly. The reason it was able to pull Coca-Cola's actual brand name is there's so much data about Coca-Cola. Yeah, it's got free assets that are fed into data sets, so it was able to bring that through. But you can see that if you compare this to old style Coca-Cola kind of adverts, it's in line. It's the same kind of theme and style. And again, what we can do is say, actually, no, this is rubbish. Give me something better. Can you please zoom on the prompt to better understand the details added, please? Yeah, I will show you those in the webinar after this. I will show you the details that get added to the prompt to get better prompts overall. So then you can see it's really dialed in on like the new Coca-Cola kind of Tron stuff that they did, and then kind of there. So it's incredibly quick and easy to be able to go from an idea to using this simple interface to creating an output that you can actually use, right? Okay, so I'm just going to stop sharing and go back to the platform, the webinar for a second. So has anyone got any further questions before I kind of carry on going forward?
Yes. So Matthew Lewis popped into the chat. He said, how specific is commercial use in the context of the free and paid versions? For example, would an informational social media post from a business count? Thanks for the webinar.
I will go through the different licensing, and some of it will surprise you. So even though it says it's for commercial use, there's still some caveats to that, for example. But I will go through that before the end.
Monica also asked, are we able to use these images in a marketing campaign? Do we have to say that it's generated by AI?
So ethically, yes, you need to always state that anything created by AI is created by AI, because that's part of the new legislation coming out, GDPR and expectations of platforms. You don't need to say that it's created by MidJourney, for example, because of the commercial licensing that you receive. So you don't need to credit MidJourney at any point, but you do have to realistically state that anything you create by AI is created by AI.
And Sophia has asked, is there any regulation around it currently?
Yes and no, and there's more to come, but I will cover that at the end. Okay, so now I want to ask you, are these images created by MidJourney or not? So do you think this image is created by MidJourney? You can let me know anywhere. Daniela, do you think it's created by MidJourney?
Yes. Yes, I do think it's created by MidJourney.
Yes. So this is created by MidJourney. So this was created by Model 4. So it's 2 models behind. And what I want to ask you is, will your clients who are scrolling quickly through their feed recognize if this is AI generated or not? Do you think that they would even notice that this is created by MidJourney? The answer is probably not. My mother wouldn't. My brother wouldn't. He doesn't pay that much attention. My grandmother definitely wouldn't. So we have an ethical responsibility to make sure that we are creating content that is purposeful. What you will see is a lot of generated content has gone out that is misinformation, it's exaggeration of claim, and that is why a lot of legislation is now coming in within generative content. So the key to your prompts being good for MidJourney and actually creating a usable piece of content is the descriptors that you can add in. So terms like photographic, photorealistic, 8K resolution, or even Nikon, what type of camera that you actually use, help MidJourney denoise in a way that is in line with your vision. Yeah. And you can describe things like lighting, depth of field, focus, shadows, reflections, and textures. The more details you provide, the more realistic the output will be. Yeah, it's the same with any AI kind of platform where you ask it something and it churns something out. The more detailed you can be, the better the outcome is going to be overall. Yeah. No, that prompt is not for the boy. No, it's an example of this prompt compared to this prompt. You would get a much better one here. Yeah. So are these created by MidJourney or not? What do you think, Daniela?
I don't think so. And it seems in the chat as well that people don't think so either.
Yes, they are.
Oh, wow.
So the expectation, what we asked here, was sharp and detailed, film grain, Kodak 200T, no dramatic lighting, global illumination, uplight. So the more you understand, the
Oh, wow.
more you can get out. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Sophia asked, is there any guides on how to create good prompts using the image generation?
Yes. So what I'll do after this session is I'll put in a guide in the Martech Club. So if you want to join in there, I'll put a Google Doc of loads of ways you can enhance your prompts. What about this one? Is this one created by MidJourney or not?
What do we think in the chat? We have a yes.
Well, I think you've kind of got the pattern. Yes, yes, they are. And these are ones that I kind of created, and these are the kind of prompts I used, and I can show you where I got them from within my MidJourney before the end. So as you can see, I'm using descriptive terms as though I'm describing a character within the book or within the campaign or within the output that I'm looking for. A craggy old male surfer sitting next to surfboard on a beach, black wetsuit, barefoot, wide shot, stormy weather. I'm giving it the whole shebang of what I actually want out of it. So I've described it in a kind of narrative kind of way here, yeah? But then what I've also done is I've given it stylistic terminology. If you don't understand photography terms, that's totally okay, because you could just say black and white photography. But the more you kind of go in depth, the better. So even if you just go black and white photography, dramatic, dynamic imagery, natural light, from the perspective of using those kind of words, you will get a better and better and better outcome. Yeah. So you can see when I was putting in the very marketing superhero, I could have gone in much more detail. I could have put a cartoon superhero on the top of a building. It's sunset. He's got purple trousers on, and given it this whole realm of understanding and kind of processing. Yeah. Because the more we give it, the better we get out. And that's always the case with all AI driven platforms, generative AI platforms. So were there any that were surprising there? I mean, I thought this was pretty good. Like, if that was on a postcard, I wouldn't even like double check realistically.
Yeah,
like,
I wouldn't bat an eyelid.
No, you wouldn't, would you? And
No.
then like all of the like the other ones, this one I would say is the most, it looks the most AI generated, but then as we go through, these blew me away. Like it's becoming harder and harder to differentiate, because we are able to understand these platforms more and more, and the information we need to use to get the most out of those platforms realistically. So how do we prompt? How do we truly prompt? Yeah. So what we want to do is always choose the right version. If you want the most up to date, it's always the one that is current. So at the moment it's -v6, and just stick that at the end of your prompt. So you'll see here. Yeah. In the notes of this slide are everything that I'll go through with examples. So just in case there's not enough detail on the slide, it's all in my notes, which you can get out of the Martech Club. We also want to give it the style setting. So do we want it to look photorealistic? Do we want to make it look like a magazine cover? Do we want it to look like a postcard that was sent in the 1970s? What do you truly stylistically want it to look like? We can also then do things like stylistic adjustments. So you can put in certain terms and numbers that relate to how stylistic, so how far away from the reality you want it to be. We can describe things like the camera and the shot. So if you want it off an old styly camera, have a look at the terms of those old styly cameras. If you want it to look like it was a professional shot, a smart phone photo, like it came out of the Adobe suite, things like Illustrator, just ask it, just tell it, let it know that that's your vision for this content, right? Do we want it to be vintage? So do we want it black and white, old Kodak photo? Have a look. Pinterest is your best friend. Have a look, search terms that you like the look of the imagery from, and then you can get back, you can start using that in your prompts. Do we want it highlight, low light, natural light, sunset, golden hour, all of those kind of things? When you're editing the photo on your kind of iPhone from a raw photo you take, do you add or do you want low contrast, those kind of things? Do you want it to be backlit, very dramatic? Do you want uplift, like all those kind of things? Ask it. If you're creating portraits, ask it things like studio portrait and describe the facial features that you truly want to get detailed, personalized results. Or what it will do is it will create an average of the data it knows and spit that out for you. Yeah. One thing that you can kind of, it's really positive, is that if you want to, you can prompt MidJourney in different languages. So it doesn't necessarily need to be English. So if you've got a preferred language, that's really great. So you can use this platform in your native kind of language. And then we can do things like crafting really, truly effective prompts where we're using those adjectives, we're setting the lighting, we're specifying all of the above to truly get something that is realistically usable. Yeah. You saw from my really bad prompt that you get bad stuff out the other end. Rubbish in, rubbish out. Yeah. Whereas if we use a prompt that is this detailed and has this much information in it, you will begin to be able to utilize this. How cool is that shot for a really wonderful surfboard wax company? Yeah. You can actually use that and it would be purposeful. It would resonate with the right audience, all that kind of stuff. So can you use your images commercially? You own all the images you create if you have a paid for subscription. If you pay for it for 1 month and then stop paying, you still have the commercial license of those that you created within your paid for subscription. So that's good to note. And you're free to use them however you'd like. That is directly from MidJourney, but there are 2 small exceptions. So within the platform and within the community, you can have access to everybody else's images. That's something that you need to note. They are not private, they are public. And if you choose to mix or remix with somebody else's images or upscale somebody else's or iterate somebody else's, the license is for them. So if you are scrolling through MidJourney's kind of community platform, the web version where all your images are stored and your licenses are stored, and you say, oh, I really like that building, the image you create with their image is theirs and it'll appear in their library, even though you can download it. Yeah. And you will need their permission to use it. So obviously then it becomes a bit wishy-washy. Yeah. If you are part of a business grossing more than any specific amount per year, now that does change, but it's quite a lot. It's like $1 million US or something. You need a pro or mega plan to use your images commercially. The issue comes is that realistically, you can't copyright an AI image. So if you are a big, huge brand that uses a certain image within their kind of branding stack or kind of templates or posters or anything like that, it's interesting to note that the US Copyright Office declared in this year that AI created images, including those generated by MidJourney, cannot be copyrighted. So that causes a problem for some businesses, right? And the other issue is that your MidJourney is itself is an open by default community. This means that every image that is created within MidJourney can be found on the Explore page on MidJourney. Yeah. Included images generated in private servers or direct messages with the MidJourney bot. So in essence, you can use this commercially, but your images can be very easily found. And there are issues with copyright. And as legislation for AI continues to change and update and become more necessary, there may be changes to this moving forward. So it's always good to note these are currently what is kind of going on. I think a question just very quickly came in.
Have a quick look. I just tried to do my own prompt and it says free trials are disabled due to extreme demand. Is this common or should we expect to sign up to a paid plan?
So there are certain time periods in the day. So they have a certain amount of tokenization for free. So if there's thousands of people trying to do that, you will get put in a queue. So it is good to use it maybe at non-peak times. So lunchtime's a good time because there's not many people on, early in the morning, in the evening to try it out, and things like that. And it also depends on what country you're in. It can be the server demand. So it's good to just keep trying so you can start to learn it. And there's also versions of MidJourney and diffusion models on Hugging Face, which whenever I say that, it's a ridiculous sentence, but that is a model community that shows you how diffusion models and image generators work. So I'll pop that into the notes that you can take away out of the Martech Club. And then you could try prompting within a smaller model and how that works, but you then wouldn't be able to use it commercially. You would need the paid version of MidJourney, but that space could help you to learn how to prompt and how to develop those prompts before needing a paid subscription on MidJourney. But if you're using it for yourself, for your clients, for any sort of content, you will need a paid for version of MidJourney. Okay. So it's often named the Gothic AI image generator because you see a lot of the kind of dark, witchy content at the moment is all created on MidJourney at the moment for a lot of things like notebook covers, pillow covers, and things like that. And it's yet another AI image generator that is taking over the internet. But MidJourney is all about using your imagination. So your prompts should be incredibly creative. They should have a lot of detail. And as this was a article, this will kind of not go away. It's being used by like 70% of agencies in the UK. I think it's like 83 in the US. Looking at the white paper of AI use that came out last week. And we need to know how to use it. But the key here is creativity. Yeah. It's not very good if you give it a basic prompt, you get a basic output. You need to understand that level of creativity. So should you actually use the content in marketing? And that is up to you. Does the platform, the way it uses data, the outputs, truly support your marketing strategy? If yes, of course, use it, but use it ethically and purposefully. Yeah. It's all well and good. A lot of our kind of sector is getting sucked into these kind of platforms without really looking at why we're using it, if we need to use it. Do our clients truly resonate with this kind of AI content? Is it purposeful for us? Do we actually need to go back to the human touch, get our creative crew out, get the camera back out ourselves, and just make sure that the reason that you are utilizing this platform is for the correct reason moving forward. Yeah. And as always, we need to weigh the pros and the cons. So for marketing teams, the decision to use MidJourney hinges on balancing the tool's creative flexibility and efficiency against the potential risks to brand identity that I just spoke about. Does it truly support your organization? While it is an appealing, cost-effective option for quickly generating compelling visuals, the lack of copyright protection and potential intellectual property concerns means that businesses need to carefully consider how they use these images. In certain cases, such as social media content or one-off marketing materials, the benefits likely outweigh the downsides. But for core brand assets or marketing that requires a unique or protected look, traditional methods will still, and creative methods will still always reign true. Yeah. So we just need to be informed about the developments and AI regulation too, so we can make well-informed decisions on AI generated imagery within our brand strategy. Yeah.
There seems to be a few questions. Would it be possible to go through those real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Yep. So Sophia has asked, would it be a good idea to create your own server in MidJourney?
Well, because it's through Discord, it kind of is private, right? So the data that you put in is held within your Discord kind of conversation. The issue comes that no matter what you do, the output is open to public. So that's where the problem comes, depending on if it is a problem for your organization. Because like I just said, if it's for small one-off pieces of content for social media, does it really matter that that's held within? But if we're adding it to a core workbook that we charge a lot of money for and we want to protect, it's probably a problem there, realistically.
Monica has asked, what is Hugging Face?
Yes, I will put the URL. So that is a AI development community, and it allows you to try and trial various different types of AI models. Now, these models are the ones that power the platforms that we work within. So it's a nice place to see what's out there, to look at the output, so that then you can start critically trying to match the output that you want with the right platform, realistically. And it's free to play. Just go and kind of play with all the models that you can and learn the differences, because that allows you to choose the right platforms moving kind of forward.
Okay, and Rena has asked, your opinion compared to others. My presumption is other softwares like like MidJourney.
The reason I always gravitate back to MidJourney is there's probably 4 or 5 reasons. Is that realistically, the commercial license is very good if it aligns with the reasons you're using that piece of content. So for each tiered subscription, you get X amount of tokenization and time, they call it within, and it's a lot, even for the lower kind of tiers. So if you're needing to create content quickly with a good commercial license, it's great. The user interface, wonderful. It's so like you saw, it's so easy. You literally put / choose and talk to it. So I think for me, it's very intuitive. It's very easy for non-technical minded kind of individuals, and it allows you to create things very, very quickly. And the community is second to none. You can literally ask in one of those channels, I am really stuck, I have no idea what I've done, and somebody will get back to you. And that's a great reason for that. The output is based upon stylistic, it's supposed to be high quality, you can upscale, so you know the output you're going to get you can use in multiple places. So for me, it's a great starting point, MidJourney. Other platforms have other niches, like I said, but it's a good place to start, realistically, and not fall into the trap of not having licenses for the content you've used, not being able to use it, paying a lot of money for something you're not going to use within your marketing tech stack. So yeah, I would say I would vouch for it. Yeah. Okay, so very quickly, I want to just touch base on the ethics of this. Now, as we look through, there are some generated AI content that we can't tell apart quickly, especially going through our feeds. Yeah, we have a ethical, realistic, reasoning to be fully ethical as a marketer. And the ways that we do that very quickly is transparency and honesty. So disclosure, clarify AI use, give an honest representation of your products, because it's very easy within generative AI to over showcase what things do or what they look like. Let's quickly harp back to the Willy Wonka experience, right? It was this beautiful AI generated, beautiful scenery that people were paying a lot of money for to go to the event. And then it was actually a warehouse very badly decorated with a shower curtain and a poor person dressed as a Oompa Loompa. And the reality did not match the rhetoric, and that causes brand erosion, identity issues. So let's just be truthful, right? Let's not get caught up in it. And we need to make sure that we are fact checking our AI generated content all the time. We need to do things like privacy and data protection. So what data are you putting in? How is it stored? What data is it trained on? Is it going to only give you really stereotypical kind of outputs? We need to make sure that the AI information that we put out into this world is ethical. So we should give responsible communication. We should have a respect for diversity, and we should be fully responsible for the AI content that we create and put out into the world, because that interacts with our clients, our communities, our customers. Yeah. So we are fully responsible if we choose to use this as a tool within our kind of process. And as I said before, it happens every 2 weeks, these Martech clubs. I would love to see you again. And they also get uploaded to YouTube, so you can share them and kind of connect with others in the kind of Martech space. I am very biased, and this is my favorite CIM Specialist Digital Award, and that's the one in AI marketing. But Daniela will be able to give you so much more information about the other ones that are available. But I love this one because we go deep into the foundations, the use, the technology behind this to create that kind of knowledge that we need now as marketers moving forward. Yeah. And then my final kind of gift I would like to say is I'd like you to join the Martech Club. It's a great group of humans. I put in tools, regulation updates, all that kind of stuff in there. You can ask me questions and you can join it via the QR code here, but I believe the link also gets sent out after the session. So I'll hand back over to Daniela to finish the session off. Oh, you're just muted, Daniela.
Oh, sorry. Thank you so
okay.
much. But thank you, Robin. That was such an interesting talk. I'll definitely be learning how to do this in my own time.
Perfect.
Very, very interesting and quite scary with how realistic some of the images look. So I'll be looking at everything twice now that's coming up on my feed.
Yeah, you'd be like,
Yeah, just
yeah,
a little bit.
It does that to you. Yeah.
But yes, if there's any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. In regards to any of the qualifications, you can always get a hold of us on our website. You can always drop us an email at inquiries@oxfordpeg.com as well. So you can reach out regarding any of the CIM qualifications if you are interested. One of our team would be more than happy to help you. But yeah, right, I think that's everything for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending the webinar. It's been really, really interesting. And hopefully we'll hear from you soon, and we'll see you at the next webinar.
Yeah, they just got one question, I think, from Monica.
Yes, sorry. What are the advantages of using MidJourney in Discord over Hugging Face? Thanks.
So Hugging Face is an opportunity for you to go and test out different AI models and how you prompt them and what outputs you get. MidJourney is the generative AI platform that you can then take that prompting knowledge and that testing into, for example. Or you may find that it's not the right platform for you, and you actually need something that does things in a different way, not through diffusion theory. So it's just a place for you to learn all AI modeling, the terminology, and all that kind of great stuff. I think that's it.
Great. Yeah, that's everything.
Thank you all for spending your lunch with me today.